The first entry draft selection in the history of the Mighty Ducks is Paul Kariya.
Kariya cutting in, he scores!
First thing you think of is sort of a Wayne Gretzky type of player.
What better guy to sell hockey in California?
He is not moving right now.
He looks like he might be done.
Kariya, number 50! Kariya igniting this crowd again.
What I want to do is to carve out my own identity out there.
Kariya will score! Can you believe it?
Can this kid make things happen in a hurry?
Oh my goodness. Is that Paul Kariya?
Yes, it is. Paul Kariya landed on his back and didn't move.
What did playing hockey mean to you?
It was my life's passion. To play a game that you love to play and to be your career was incredible.
Dana Point, California, with a stretch of beaches that have some of the best surfing in the world, this is where you'll find Paul Kariya most days. It's not far from the Ducks' home in Anaheim. 7 years after leaving the game, it might as well be a world away.
It's an incredible feeling to be riding the energy of the ocean and a swell that's coming from halfway around the world. It's also something that, you know, after we go surfing, we go to lunch or have breakfast with the guys, and it kind of mimics after practice going to lunch with the guys after we skated.
Success in hockey didn't just happen for Kariya. Sure, he was blessed with talent, but he was also driven by an obsession for perfection. He was a slave to routine, then and now.
By nature, I'm very routine-oriented, and I was always taught by my mom and dad to be prepared, and I kind of brought that into my hockey pre-game ritual.
There probably was no player more dedicated to, trying to improve himself, to maximize his talents as Paul was.
We would watch him after practice take pucks on his backhand right beside the net, and he would put them under the bar, 30 of them after practice every day. Guys would kind of look at him like, what are you doing? And you get the one opportunity in a game, and that's where it would end up.
Whatever he does, he takes that right here. Like his commitment level for hockey or anything what he does is just something I've never seen before.
Kariya, backside with speed, shoots, he scores!
Oh, what a play!
I think there's a stretch where he was one of the best in the league by far.
On his own, Kariya belonged in the same sentence as the very best in the game. He was electrifying to watch, a game changer.
The best compliment I could probably say is when you were playing him, you were aware of him in big time. Like you knew this guy, if you give him an inch, he's gone.
And he got even better in February 1996 when Teemu Selanne arrived in an unexpected lopsided trade. Two guys who couldn't be more different away from the rink quickly became one of the most dynamic duos in the league.
From the moment we stepped on the ice together, first practice or first game, I felt like I knew exactly what he was doing on the ice, and he knew what I was doing on the ice.
Selanne to Kariya, scores! Bang, bang! There is the most magical combination between two forwards in all of hockey, and you just saw why.
Timo could think at his level, could skate at his level, and finish at his level. So, they made a combination together.
We were always laughing because I was totally opposite. And we're roommates and everything, but we're best friends, so it's funny how it works, but I think he learned something from me, and I learned a lot of things about him.
He was a really good balancing point for me. I tend to take things too seriously, and he enjoys life, so he kind of opened me up a little bit and made me enjoy life a little bit more.
In 2003, the 7th-seeded Mighty Ducks made it to their first Stanley Cup final. There may be no night that captures the essence of Kariya's career more than Game 6 of that series. It's still remembered as one of the greatest nights in Southern California hockey lore, and it's one he doesn't remember.
You just see something like that, and it's not why you play hockey.
It looks so bad. When he was almost 1 minute, like he didn't move there's no movement. It was scary.
All I remember is going back to the bench and saying, please get up. That was my feeling. Just get up off the ice. You're scared.
You know, absolutely.
Paul Kariya leveled
And he's had concussion problems in the past.
I don't remember anything live, but when I saw the hit, I mean, it was a really late hit. Like, it was a dirty hit, in my opinion.
I've hit a lot of people, but I've always never wanted to hurt anybody and wanted to make sure they got up and played again.
When I saw that hit, I said, there's no way he can come back. And these days standards, he would never come back and play again.
Can you believe he's back?
No, he's showing me something. I didn't think we'd see him until next season.
I don't know how long I was knocked out on the ice, but it was a long time. That's like getting knocked out in a boxing match, going back into the dressing room, and then starting another boxing match.
I was glad to see Paul get back up and finish that game and finish it in the style he did.
Corey picked it out, got it back near side Kariya. Kariya, the fans want one.
That's what people remember me for. They'll come up to me and say, I was watching the game, or I was at the game, and I remember that moment.
I gotta be honest, I have goosebumps. I mean, that's unbelievable.
You didn't have any recollection of
No.
that moment?
I don't remember any of that.
So you and Scott are forever linked because of that. Did you ever talk to him? Did he ever reach out to you?
No, I've never talked to Scott about it, no.
I think I let up a bit on the hit, to be honest with you. As hard as it was, I did not follow through on the hit. But, you know, I played a certain way, and everybody knew how I played. And I always felt as much as a big goal or a big block shot could change a game, a hit could do the same thing.
The seventh game of that Stanley Cup final would be Kariya's last with Anaheim. He'd make stops in Colorado, Nashville, and St. Louis over the next 6 seasons, but the damage was done. His 6th concussion would ultimately end Kariya's Hall of Fame career 11 games shy of 1,000.
Any of the concussions I received in my career, when I came to and saw what happened, there's a lot of anger. If you look at my career path, that was really the peak of where I got as a player, and I was only 24 years old, and nowhere near my prime. So a creative player, the number one thing that I would want to have at 100% is my brain.
I think he was a bitter, I don't know whatever he says, but I still believe that he didn't want to have anything to do with hockey for a while.
There's a feeling that you've put a distance between yourself and the game. Would you agree with that?
It was difficult, especially how it ended for me. Like I said, if I could, I would love to be playing now. But at the same time, as the years have passed, with perspective, I feel grateful for the amount of time I had in the NHL, and it's too bad it had to end that way, but at the same time, I don't look back on it with any regrets or anger or anything like that now.
In the past years, 4 or 5 years, he has been living in the bubble, you know. Nobody knows where he lives. He really wanted to have time for his own. So I'm so happy he's coming back now.
We talk a little bit of hockey. We don't talk a lot of hockey, but we do talk some, you know, and people might think that he would never want to talk about it. I mean, you have some time once in a while out in the water waiting for a wave to come by, and we do talk about hockey.
I've called him a few times the last couple of years. I want him to come to a game. He said, listen, it's simple. You'll come up the press box. No one will know. You just sit there and watch. But he's had no desire.
Blakey jokes around with me about coming down and you know, watching games with him or whatever. And I said, well, there's got to be a surfing part in the contract. If the waves are good, I'm not coming down, you know.
So a lot of your pals, your surfer buddies, are working in prominent positions. Do you have an interest?
If I was going to go down that road, I would want to be 100% in. So whether that's coaching or scouting or you know, doing the work to become a manager, I'd want to make 100% commitment and have the same kind of passion and drive that I had as a player. If I'm going to do something, I want to do it to the best of my abilities.